Hi everyone, in this video I'm sharing my very basic rainwater catchment setup that I have at my parents' home, and I'm sharing in hopes that you see how easy this really is, and hopefully it'll inspire you to set something up like this at your place. So it's set up on the storage garage, and the garage actually didn't have any gutters to begin with, so we attached gutters on half of the length of the building and just on this one side. And then at the end of the gutters, we attached some flexible tubing gutters that would reach down to this rain barrel. And this rain barrel I actually got for free on freecycle.org. I highly recommend you checking that out. It's 55 gallons, and it had previously been used as a rainwater barrel because it already had that port you see on the side there installed, and then a hole at the bottom where I attached the spigot. So luckily I didn't have to drill those out, but if you were just getting a barrel yourself, you would need to drill those holes yourself. And that is just for an overflow. As you see, it's completely full and that water is spilling out. Now, as for the spigot at the bottom, you want to place it in a spot where it's not at the very bottom, but a little bit above, and I believe that size is 3/4 inch spigot. And you would just hand screw that in. Now I placed the barrel up on some pallets to give it some height so I could put a bucket underneath. As you'll see right here, I've got a 5-gallon bucket and I'm going to fill it up with water to water some trees. Now, and then I put some rocks, as you can see, around the base just to hide the pallets a little bit. Now, it's not high enough that you could put a hose on the end, and so you wouldn't have any pressure in the hose. But I imagine that if I lifted this up, the rain barrel up several feet, it should have enough pressure to use a hose. But I just am using this basic setup, filling this bucket and carrying the bucket out to water the trees. I first learned about rainwater catchment when I lived in the Southwest in Flagstaff, Arizona. I started working with a water advocacy group on campus, and we started writing a grant for a rainwater catchment system in one of the gardens on campus. And then later on, I ended up volunteering with Earthship Biotecture, an off-grid building company where they use rainwater catchment as well. In those cases for homes, they use huge water tanks, like 1,000-gallon tanks that would be like underground in the back of their home. You'd have to look into that a little bit more. That way they use the rainwater for the plumbing in their house. So your sinks, your toilets, your showers, everything would be from rainwater. That is eventually where I would like to get to, but for now, it really makes me feel good that I can at least water some plants with rainwater instead of using the city water from the tap. So here I am. I'm going to carry the bucket out to the trees, and this is actually a really good workout, carrying the 5-gallon buckets around in the yard. I was also going to say, so over the winter, I actually left water in the barrel because I'm not usually able to use all 55 gallons in a season. It's a lot of water. So I was worried that it was going to freeze and ruin my spigot, but surprisingly it didn't. But I imagine that if you lived somewhere where it gets really, really cold, you would need to drain your rain barrel. So I just wanted to share, you don't even have to have a house to be able to have a rainwater catchment system. You can do this at your apartment, even catching rainwater in a bucket and watering your plants inside. That is something you could do as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, and if I can answer them, I will try. So thanks for watching.